muscle, does he not look smaller? Does he not look, does he look turned down? He's smaller and turned down, right? So you wanted me to say that shit, right?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Right. I mean, that's what everyone is asking.
Just pretty much just figuring out that.
Very cautious Devin Haney to come out here.
It's embarrassing.
But it is a bit alarming for Devin to be this tentative.
He looks terrified.
And he hasn't thrown but 2 punches. We're not seeing a very different Devin Haney than we saw.
I think we're seeing a worse Devin Haney.
Yeah.
If you hated Devin Haney before this, you hate him a lot more now, speaking from experience. He's just ran like hell, jabbed and ran and ran and ran. And never stood still for a second to take a shot because Ramirez is so slow.
I think it's him trying to get back to what he was before he made a mistake or Ryan hurt him and had him on, had his mind switched off to his game plan. This is a way for him to get back to that.
Do you know what this is? I can't take a punch.
This wasn't the comeback Devin Haney imagined. No knockouts, no fireworks, no redemption arc, just boos echoing from the crowd, analysts shaking their heads, and a performance that left even his own father, Bill Haney, speechless until now.
Hey, Bill, any words? Ryan done fucked the money up. Bill, you messed up the money, right?
Because when the man who's been in your corner since day one goes public and says, "This is sad to watch," you know the truth is worse than the scorecards. This isn't just a boxing story. This is about the fall of a prodigy, a family on edge, and a future in jeopardy. Let's unpack the night that exposed more than just a sluggish jab. This is Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, the fight that broke something deeper than a record.
Seen the fights last night? I went to the fights last night. Sucked. Horrible. I'm telling you, champ, it was the worst fights ever. You know what I'm saying? Or it was the worst fights ever, champ. I mean, it was unbelievable, champ.
First off, let's call it what it was. Haney versus Ramirez wasn't meant to be a war. This was supposed to be a setup fight, a confidence boost, a tune-up, a way for Devin to shake off that ugly loss-turned-no contest against Ryan Garcia and line himself up for a big money rematch.
Here they are face to face, ladies and gentlemen. The second of our 3 main events, the triple hitter, 12 rounds in the welterweight division. Jose Carlos Ramirez and the former 2-time world champion Devin, the Dream Haney. Fatal Fury at Times Square, the triple hitter, 3 main event contests. 6 of the best in the world going at it in 3 main events.
Ramirez, while respected, hadn't fought in over a year and was expected to show up, survive a few rounds, and bow out respectfully. But instead of a showcase, fans got stuck watching 12 rounds of awkward tension and zero action.
I thought Devin told Ramirez, "I'm gonna hurt you." Don't look like he's trying to do that. It's like he's trying to, let's just get these rounds and, you know what I mean? Let's just keep banking these rounds, get some good experience, Dev. Get your feet back up on the bike and shit. I'm worried about what's coming back, it looks like. Probably fucked up too much in the gym. Both of them tried to throw punches. They both missed by country miles.
Good heart. The whole arena felt it. You know it's bad when even the announcers sound like they're commentating a golf match.
Haney put on the Ryan put on the as well, but Haney was supposed to be going back to the drawing board, getting better. Did you think he got better? Absolutely not.
Mosley to the team, all that stuff.
Just because you add a Hall of Famer to your team don't make it's gonna make you better. I promise you that. Devin, yesterday, I felt like he didn't want to fight either with Ryan Garcia. The way he was fighting, how scared he was. PTSD is a real thing in fighting, in boxing. It's a real thing. And I felt that's what I saw with Devin, watching him run around the ring. Man, I was like, damn, I was like, did this dude, I said, did he train with Usain Bolt? Who the hell he train with? I said, he running around this ring like he crazy. I'm like, yo, settle your feet down, bro, and grow some balls, man. grow some balls and stand there and jab and make sure to back this guy up off of you. But nah, man, like, look, I take so much, bro. I was so angry after watching that, bro. I wasted my time watching that last night.
Devin came out looking off. No real aggression, no spark, barely any combos. He threw just 224 punches over 12 rounds.
I want to tell you, Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez, what really happened. Now, what made this a bad fight? For me, I think Devin Haney, and I've already expressed this before, I think Devin truly, I think he cares too much about his image, right? And it just doesn't match. It doesn't match what we're receiving, right? Like, they try to sell Devin as the next Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. He's not, period. I've never seen Floyd look like what I've seen from Devin, right? And here's the thing. You have Devin's team, and what they're saying, it just doesn't add up to me. For example, they'll be like, Ryan cheated, Osterine, he's a cheater. So the result for the fight, which was later overturned, the reason we look like that was because Ryan's a cheater. So if that is in fact the case, and you truly deep down inside believe that, then why did your performance look like that? I'm going to say it again for the slow time and the slow people in the back. If you truly believe that you had the outcome from the Ryan Garcia fight based solely on the fact that Ryan was cheating, otherwise it would have looked totally different, then why would you come back? You should be pretty confident, you know? You should come out pretty much guns blazing, look like the same Devin that fought Linares, look like the same Devin that fought Lomachenko, the same Devin that fought Regis Prograis. But in fact, he didn't. And
let that sink in. That's less than 19 punches around. Even Ramirez, who was supposed to be the underdog, didn't bring much heat. The whole fight felt like two guys pretending to box, but too scared to commit.
The Dominican kid? Right. I mean, come on. I mean, 1 or 2 punches per round? That's not boxing, man. Come on, you gotta get in there and you know, show your skills, show your fight, show your the lion in you, you know. But I just think that this new era of boxing is more about show than fighting, you know. And I understand, you know, they want to protect themselves, but honestly, when you're getting paid that type of money, you gotta fight. You guys are gonna see tomorrow.
Now, yeah, on paper, Devin won. The judges scored it 119 to 109, 119 to 109, and 118 to 110. But who cares when the crowd's booing, fans are leaving early, and your own dad looks like he just watched his kid flunk out of Harvard? After the fight, fans were waiting for Devin to do the post-fight interview. It never happened. Why? Because the broadcast skipped it. That's how unentertaining it was.
Didn't he just run? I don't know, like, bro. Like, I'm trying to warm up for a fight, bro. I don't need to be falling asleep.
But what hit even harder was when Bill Haney finally spoke. The same man who trained Devin since he was a kid. The same guy who stood by him after the controversial fight with Ryan Garcia.
I guess the question is, do you think that Devin's financial value now has dropped because of what happened in that fight? Even though it was overturned, people seeing what they saw, do you think Devin now is going to basically make less money because of that? Or do you think he'll make more?
Yes, of course. No, he'll make less because of the fights, obviously, that the guys can weasel out and make excuses to not fight. One guy being out of Baltimore in that camp. Oh, you know, they was quick. They was quick to say this and say that. And then they ended up with, no disrespect, Lamont Roach. You know, so if
Lamont Roach, he has something to say that when Devin laughed out loud at the fact that, you know, Tank was fighting Roach, Lamont responded and said, "You laughing a little too hard, my boy. Is there any history there?"
No.
He kept it brutally real. This wasn't Devin. I don't know who that was in there, Bill said in an interview that's now going viral. This was sad to watch. Not because he lost, because he didn't, but because he looked lost.
So that's part of it. It's fessing up on the stage. That's about holding your head up and holding accountability, but they don't want to hold accountability.
Boxing purists really had nothing positive to say about this fight.
What do you think about Devin's performance?
It was okay, you know. I said to him, I think you really needed to hold your feet a little bit more. Like, he actually buzzed Ramirez a few times. And, you know, but I think there was a lot of nerves, and I think he's been out for a year. Ryan's been out for a year as well. Inactivity kills, you know, and we saw that tonight.
Tio win the night?
Yeah.
There you go.
It was good. Listen, they want to do Tio against Boots. I like Tio, but be careful what you wish for.
You heard it from the men.
Right, man. See you later.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
Now let's be honest. This isn't just about one bad fight. Devin Haney's last few performances have been dipping.
Devin Haney just embarrassed himself against Jose Ramirez by putting on a very boring performance. Devin Haney was running on the back foot throughout the whole entire fight, and there was little to no action, so it was obvious that his confidence wasn't there, and he was so scared to get hit, and that's all because of Ryan Garcia. So Devin Haney is in no position to talk when his career seems to be going on a downhill, so I believe Devin Haney easily gets pieced up by all the top guys at 147, and he still gets embarrassed by Ryan Garcia.
And you shouldn't be talking right now about beating asses, because the man's to my left,
And after the Ryan Garcia mess, where Devin got dropped multiple times and was humiliated, only to have the fight ruled a no contest due to Ryan testing positive, Haney's aura hasn't been the same.
Haney doesn't have the power, but he does have the accuracy and timing. If you're that aggressive, get overconfident.
Wow, big left hand by Garcia. Rocks Haney early. Garcia said he was going to knock him out in the first round. How back? Needs to happen. Oh, he's got it locked again, and down for a second time. It's Devin Haney.
He went from next Floyd Mayweather to elite sparring partner energy, and fans are starting to notice.
You enjoyed the fight?
All right.
Well,
Look, I mean, these were strange fights. A couple of them, you know. But it was great to be back. Doing blow by blow, had a fantastic time with Antonio Tarver, had a fantastic time with Mike Coppinger. I wish that there had been more action.
Yeah.
It's quite unbelievable. CompuBox has counted punches in 15,000 fights.
Wow.
2 of those fights are now among the 5 fights with the lowest number of punches ever. Okay.
Wow.
So you're looking at 2 of the 5 lowest punch output fights in a 15,000 fight catalog. That's unreal. These are supposed to be action fighters.
There's a bigger question here. Is Devin Haney mentally done with boxing? He's been in the game since childhood. Always disciplined, always clean-cut, always carrying himself like a future legend. But sometimes that perfect path takes a toll.
That process is never easy. And you've done so much, you're 29-0. How do you continue to stay focused, you know, so you can get to that point where, you know, you can join the elites, you know, the Floyds, the undefeateds, those greats, the Mikes, the Alis. What's the process? What is going to take for you to get there?
When I set out to do this, I didn't want to be just a mediocre fighter or, you know, anything that I was going to do, I was going to be the best at it. You know, I want my name to be remembered forever with the greats. I want my name to live on much longer than I ever will. So, you know, I'm doing the proper things that I seen the greats do. You know, the work ethic, the discipline, the things that I seen them do.
Speaking of Ryan Garcia, his shadow loomed heavy over this whole event.
Ryan Garcia, that last fight against them.
Oh my God! A double hook, short hook.
Because let's not forget, this card was called Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, and Ryan was the main event. Even in a loss against Rolly Romero, where Ryan got dropped and ended up losing on points, he still owned the night.
It's a pretty off night. You know, Rolly did what he does. You know, a lot of good power shots, caught me in the second round. But just even in the start of the fight, it just didn't feel my feet were under me, like I had anything. But I tried to fight through it, and just found myself very off after the year layoff. That whole year, it was a lot for me mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say. But I'm extremely disappointed in the way I fought, and it definitely isn't my best in any way. But thank you guys, and I want to thank my fans and everybody that stuck by me, even though we took an out today, and the people that came to watch me. A lot of love is out there for me, and I think people know my heart, and know that I'll be back and better than ever. I didn't really, wasn't a fan of that at all. It felt like a sparring match, and it felt like you could hear everybody, and it just didn't feel authentic to me. But no excuse. It is what it is. That's just part of just me not, being as sharp as I could be. I just didn't really throw anything, to be honest. I mean, I was just going jabs and roving around. I just didn't feel there, didn't feel there at all. And, it wasn't part of our game plan at all. Derek had a great game plan. There was a lot of opportunities there, especially when Rolly's on back. I just didn't let my hand feel in any way, shape, or form. That was simple as that. I think it's just both, combination of both. Throughout the camp, just couldn't get anything going. I felt for myself, seeing any camp. Like I didn't feel like I had more conditioning or more energy or more sharp. I just feel like I couldn't. Nothing was like progressing in any way. I just felt weird. And I would mention it to Derek, and we were just trying to figure it out. But we only have 5 weeks together, and I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know why I can't get those, I guess, progressive, sharpness coming into camp. Like, I don't know why it's not picking up, but we still were confident. I mean, we still were training. It's just nothing clicked. Nothing was clicking.
People were buzzing about Ryan's walkout, his drama, his energy. Meanwhile, Devin won, and no one cared. Even worse, Ryan's L didn't hurt his brand at all. He made headlines. Devin made excuses. That's the difference.
Antonio Tarver is counting the number of seconds it takes for a punch to be thrown in this round.
So, what now? He won, technically, but fans aren't begging for a rematch with Garcia anymore. Promoters aren't calling his phone off the hook.
We just heard Ryan say, sure, we'll run this fight back. Is a rematch something you'd like to do next?
Of course. I thought it was a close fight still. I would love to rematch. I gave him a shot. It's only right he give me a shot back.
And with big names like Gervonta Davis, Teofimo Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson all in the mix, Haney's stock has dropped. Bad. A fighter's worst nightmare isn't losing. It's becoming irrelevant. And that's where Devin might be headed if something doesn't change. But it isn't just Devin. There has been a major shift in the sport of boxing. Remember the top 3 guys of boxing for the past couple of years: Garcia, Haney, and Tank Davis. Well, let's start with Ryan Garcia. He was suspended for a year. Yep, the whole illegal substance thing really had him out of the ring. And now that he's back, well, he just got cooked by Rolly Romero.
As happy as I could be, honestly. I mean, I just made history, and this might be the most attended boxing event in history.
They were stacked up block to block.
It was crazy.
How was it when you were walking in via the car to the streets?
I mean, they're all stopping, they're all happy. But, I was just focused on what I needed to be focused on.
Gervonta Davis, the guy who sat at the top for too long, just got shoved off by a guy we didn't know a year ago, Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach came as the underdog and gave Tank the toughest fight of his life. The judges ruled it a draw, but let's be real, we all know who won that one.
Clearly in there, man. I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the bills. I've been telling y'all that. And I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate true boxing media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won. And, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
Roach knocked Tank down in the 9th round, and the ref did not count it. So that sums it up. Roach won that fight.
You voluntarily took a knee midway through this fight. It was not ruled a knockdown. What happened?
I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my shit, so the shit was like, like when you sweating and things like that, and the grease come in my face, it burnt my eyes type shit. Damn, why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Come on, man. Look at my hair. I just got my shit done. But it's all cool, man. You know how I get. They love you and then they hate you. Turn around there and love you again. You know what I mean?
And now Devin Haney. He didn't lose the fight, but he might as well have. At least that would have been more entertaining than whatever we saw.
You saw what Devin did in the other fight on the card. He got the W, maybe not in the way that he wanted. I spoke to Eddie after the fight.
No, that's the way he wants it. That's the way that Haney's definitely wanted. That was, for them, excellent boxing. That's Mayweather new money. That's the Mayweather edition of their plans.
Other two, air quotes, A sides on the pay-per-view side, probably going to get some criticism tonight. What did you think of their performance? I'm talking about Haney and Garcia, of course.
Well, I was in the back. I was like, I had to do my urine test and blood test, but other than that, I was watching bits here and there, Haney and Ramirez. It seemed like Haney was just moving a lot more than just throwing punches. So I think he's gonna continue to have that type of constructive criticism on him. But nevertheless, he knows how to win. He got the job done.
Let's not write him off just yet. Devin's still young, still skilled, still undefeated on paper. But something's gotta shift. Maybe a new trainer, maybe a new camp, maybe even a long break from the game to fall back in love with the sport. Because the Devin Haney we saw against Ramirez? That wasn't the dream. That was a man going through the motions, and you can't fake greatness.
Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez. Kambosos became unified champion. Devin Haney beat him with the jab all night and kept dipping down, jabbing and dipping, jabbing and dipping. The second fight, after Devin Haney smoked him, Devin Haney adjusted and started throwing the right hand all night and beat him worse and went back to his crib to do it and then almost shut him out 34-1. I said, that guy's great.
So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.